myself said in wars. In fact, we have a great leader coming with the Prime Minister of Pakistan coming and the Field Marshal Pakistan.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Econlaw Global, where we unpack the world's hidden power plays. If you've been following global news, you've heard the big names, US, China, Russia. But what about the country that's quietly at the center of it all? Pakistan. A recent Indian Express article nailed it. Pakistan's not just another South Asian nation. Its battle-tested military, globe-trotting diaspora, and front-row seat to the world's trouble spots make it indispensable. We're talking nuclear deterrence that keeps rivals in check, remittances fueling an economy bigger than some EU countries, and a geography that's the ultimate chessboard square in US-China rivalry. In this deep dive, we'll break down the factors putting Pakistan on every diplomat's speed dial in 2025. From the dusty Afghan border to Silicon Valley boardrooms, stick around, you'll see why ignoring Pakistan is a geopolitical mistake. If you're new here, hit subscribe for more no BS world affairs. Let's dive in. First up, location. Picture this, a country that's part mountain fortress, part desert highway, and all drama. Pakistan's 796,000 square kilometers straddle the roof of the world, bordering China to the north, India to the east, Afghanistan and Iran to the west, and crashing into the Arabian Sea down south. It's not just land, it's a launchpad for global chaos and commerce. Start with the neighbors from hell, or at least, the headlines. That 2,640-kilometer Durand line with Afghanistan. It's the world's most porous fault line, birthplace of the Taliban and endless insurgencies. Just this October 2025, after Pakistani airstrikes hit Taliban hideouts in Khost and Paktika on the 9th, Qatar and Turkey mediated a fragile ceasefire between Islamabad and Kabul. Why? Pakistan's the gatekeeper, hosting 1.4 million Afghan refugees and squeezing the Taliban on cross-border attacks. These adversaries to the West, as the article calls them, drag in the US for counter-terror cash while Iran simmers with proxy wars next door. Pakistan's the unwilling referee, and everyone's watching. But flip the script. This spot's a goldmine for trade. Enter the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, CPEC, the $62 billion artery of Beijing's Belt and Road. Phase 2 just kicked off this month, with a big review meeting in Islamabad on October 8th. We're talking industrial parks sprouting in Punjab, new rail lines from Xinjiang Strait to Gwadar Port. Finance Minister Ishaq Dar called it a catalyst for development in a speech yesterday, linking energy-hungry China to warm Gulf oil, bypassing choke points like the Malacca Strait. Pakistan's even pitching itself as a US-China bridge, rejecting camp politics for climate and connectivity deals. Geopolitics 101, Halford Mackinder called Eurasia the Heartland Prize. Pakistan's the Rimland hinge, control it, and you thumb the Indian Ocean. No wonder the US pumped $33 billion in aid since 2002 for Afghan access, while China builds dams and jets. In 2025's multipolar mess, Pakistan's geography isn't a curse, it's currency. What do you think, blessing or burden? Drop a comment. Up next, the muscle making it all stick. Pakistan's army isn't the flashiest, no Hollywood carriers here, but it's the 7th largest standing force globally, with 654,000 troops ready to roll. Clocking in at 12th on the 2025 Global Firepower Index, it's right behind powerhouses like Turkey but packs a regional punch that keeps India, ranked 4th, at bay. The crown jewel, nukes. As the world's only Muslim-majority nuclear state, Pakistan's got about 170 warheads, per the bulletin of the atomic scientist's latest estimate, unchanged but ever ready. Its credible minimum deterrence, missiles like the Shaheen-3 can hit Delhi from Balochistan, ensuring any Kashmir flare-up stays cold. 4 wars with India since 1947. That's why this arsenal stabilizes South Asia, or keeps the world on edge. Conventionally, it's no slouch. 3,700 tanks, over 600 aircraft including Chinese J-10Cs, and a navy bulking up with Turkish subs. As a major non-NATO US ally, F-16s and drones flow in for anti-terror gigs. But the real edge? Experience. Pakistan's troops cut teeth in Afghanistan proxies, Siachen Glacier standoffs, and grinding ops against TTP and ISIS-K. Just look at those October airstrikes across the border, precision hits on militant camps, forcing the Doha anchor a ceasefire. This isn't just defense, it's exportable power. The West leans on Pakistan for ISIS containment. China guards CPEC convoys from Baloch rebels. In a year of frozen US aid and rising Indo-US ties, Pakistan's military whispers, "We're essential." Numbers don't lie, but people tell stories. Pakistan's 9-10 million diaspora isn't just sending cash, it's scripting influence. In September 2025 alone, remittances hit $3.2 billion, up 11% year-on-year, per state bank data. That's part of a yearly $30 billion lifeline, peaking at $4.1 billion in March, making up 9.4% of GDP and outpacing foreign aid. Saudi Arabia leads, but UAE, UK, and US follow close. But the real flex, lobbying. In DC, 13 firms and 700,000 Pakistani Americans shape policy, from Kashmir UN votes to Trump-era aid resets. Over in London, 1.5 million British Pakistanis flipped seats for Labour MPs, pushing human rights and trade narratives. Gulf expats, they secure Hajj slots and oil perks. Add tech whizzes in Silicon Valley and cricket icons like Babar Azam building bridges. Post-2022 floods, they raised $100 million overnight. This fifth column counters India's slicker lobby, ensuring Pakistan's voice echoes in Western halls. As one analyst put it, it's a diplomatic asset, turning expats into envoys. Soft power, check. Pakistan's not a one-trick pony. It's the counter-terror MVP, 80,000 lives lost since 2001, yet it co-leads trilateral talks with China and Afghanistan. That fresh October 2025 ceasefire, Pakistan's leverage forced Taliban concessions on TTP safe havens, with Doha and Ankara as refs. US eyes, still on for ISIS-K ops. Economically, it's an anchor, OIC heavyweight, SCO player, Saudi oil buddy, Turkish drone partner. CPEC's Phase 2 industrial push. It's diversifying from US frenemy ties. Even bridging US-China rifts, Islamabad's pitching connectivity over confrontation. But let's keep it real, challenges amplify its pull. $7 billion IMF bailout in 2023 lingers amid 2025 debt woes, militancy spikes post-Taliban return, 2022 floods displaced millions. Fragility draws $10 billion yearly aid, turning weakness into bargaining chip. A 240 million strong youth bulge. Untapped gold if harnessed right. In 2025's chaos, Pakistan's the call you at 3 a.m. nation. Across the Radcliffe Line, India doesn't see a hidden powerhouse, it sees a perennial proxy for Beijing, exporting instability since 1947. A May 2025 crisis, sparked by a Kashmir attack and ending in Indian missile strikes, reminded Delhi, Pakistan's geography, guns, and global games threaten South Asia's balance. CSIS.org. With CPEC snaking into Afghanistan and Trump 2.0 cozying up to Islamabad, New Delhi's playbook. Vigilance and countermeasures. Let's dissect it section by section. Pakistan's strategic hinge. To India, it's a chokehold. That Durand Line chaos. Delhi fingers it as the terror pipeline. 80% of attacks in J&K trace back, per 2025 Mayor reports. Post-May crisis, with Taliban in Kabul, Pakistan's geography amplifies. It hosts 1.4 million refugees but allegedly shelters TTP, ISIS-K. CPEC's Afghan push. A red line. Beijing Islamabad's October 2025 extension, industrial zones in Nangarhar, bypasses India, challenging Chabahar and INSTC for Central Asian gas, oil. Mayor slammed it as unacceptable, echoing POC sovereignty fears. New Delhi counters with upgraded Taliban ties, October embassy nod, eyeing an India-Iran-Afghan axis to dilute the Sino-Pak trap. As ORF's 2025 paper warns, this pivot risks trilateral isolation for Pakistan, but only if India plays smart. From Delhi, blessing, no, it's Beijing's backdoor to encircle India. Pakistan's nukes and troops. India's nightmare fuel. That 170 warhead arsenal, per Bulletin 2025, isn't minimum deterrence, it's tailored for first use in Kashmir, per IDSA analyses. The May crisis escalated to unseen nuclear thresholds, with Indian strikes on Pak facilities nearly tipping over. Stimson Center called it a meta-escalation. Wake up. GFP ranks India number 4, but Pak's number 12 Pak's asymmetric punch, Chinese J-10s, Turkish subs, and fresh US AMRAAM missiles, October greenlight, $41 million. CD's Chowan's July post-mortem on Sindor. It bought space for conventional ops, but nukes cap India's edge. Chatter echoes, US arms to Pak destabilize, not deter terror. Delhi's lens. This battle-hardened force isn't stabilizing, it's sponsoring proxies, forcing India to pour billions into border forts. Now, the proactive play. India's not just watching, it's wiring defenses. Facing Pak's deepening China tilt and Trump 2.0's Pak thaw, September White House meet, Delhi's hedging multipolar bets. Diplomatic deepens. Quad, ICET with US counters China Pak, $20 billion arms deals, tech transfers. Chabahar's sanctions waiver axed. India pivots to INSTC, inking Afghan rail pacts October 2025. Taliban upgrade, full embassy, trade routes to dilute CPEC. Military muscle up, post-Sindor lessons. S-400 shields, 114 Rafales, border roads doubling. Nuke doctrine tweak, no first use, holds, but triad expansion eyes Pak's battlefield toys. Economic edges, IMF pressure on Pak via G20, diaspora leverage for US lobbies. Farrell warns, don't undervalue US amid China, rapprochement, it's the anti-encirclement key. Risks, Trump tariffs, but leverage like GSP revival talks builds back. Bottom line, India's prepping not for war, but to make Pak's pivot, pivotless. Through India's lens, Pakistan's rise is a reminder, power's relative. This dual view enriches the story, thanks for sticking. Sources below. What's your take on Delhi's counters? Like, sub, share. Also, recommend the topic on which you want the next video.